Sweet faces, welcome to this week where we are looking at equivalent fractions, and we're looking at them in a few different ways. The first way that we're going to be looking at them here is using our fraction bars, which help us visually see what each size fraction looks like. Your job with this one is to fill in the missing pieces to complete the statement. So let's dive in. If I have 1/2, and again, you can shade this in or just use your eyes, both of those are options, and I want to see how many fourths I have, I would shade in the same amount. And here I can see that I have 2/4. So 1/2 is the same as 2/4. 1/2 would be one large piece. 2/4 would be two smaller pieces. Over here, I see 1/3, what that is equal to in 6. So I have 1/3. That's the same amount of space as 2/6. Coming down here, I want to compare 3/6. So 1, 2, 3 of those pieces and see how much it is as a half. 3/6 is the same as 1/2. 3/4 I'm going to fill in. So I have 1, 2, 3, and it is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8. Down here looking at eighths and sixths. If I have 4/8, wrong one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. How many sixths is that equal to? That would be equal to 3 of my 6. So 4/8 is the same as 3/6. We can also say that both of those are halves. They're both halves. I have 4 of my 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. How many thirds does that give me? That gives me 2/3. That's the end of page 1. If you have any questions, please bring them with you to class. All right, my loves, on to page number 2, where we are comparing our values. I am looking at how many 6 would be equal to 2/3. So if I dive in and count here, I have 2/3 and I have 4/6. I have 1/4 is equal to 2/8. 1/3 is the same as 2/6. I can count that I have 6 pieces here. I have 3 out of 6 is the same as 1/2. 4/8 is the same as 3/6. And 1/2 is the same as 2/4. Any questions, sweet faces? Please bring them with you to class. On to page 3, where we are still looking for our equivalent fractions using our fraction bars. For this first one, I have 2/8, and that is equal to 1 out of 4. I have 2/4, that is equal to 1/2. I have 4/8, that is equal to 1/2. I have 4/6, that is equal to 2/3. I have 6/8. Make sure you get them all in there. That's a lot of that fraction bar. And that is equal to 3/4. Last one on this page. 1/3 is equal to 2/6. Any questions on page number 3? Please bring them with you to class. All right, sweet faces, your goal here was to circle 2 equivalent fractions. There are a few answers for some of these, and I'm just going to mark some of them up. So I could say that 4/8 is the same as 2/4. I could say that 6/8 is the same as 3/4, seeing that they're lined up. And I could say that 2/8 is the same as 1/4. If you're trying to be super sticky and creative, I could also say that 1 whole is 1 whole. We talked about this in class. 1 whole is the same as saying 8 out of 8 and 4 out of 4. And I could also, in that same respect, say that 0/8 is the same as 0/4. All right, over to the land of fourths and sixths. I can say 2/4 and 3/6. I could say the 1 and 1 and the 0 and the 0, just because I know some of you love those tricky answers. Down here, 1/3 is the same as 2/6. 2/3 is the same as 4/6. 4/8 is the same as 1/2. They are equivalent. 2/4 is the same as 1/2. They are equivalent. 3/6 is the same as 1/2. Look at how many different values we have for 1/2. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. All right, my loves, we have some sticky, stretchy word problems. Let's dive right in. Some of these are a stretch for something we're going to look at next year, but I'm curious to see what some of you are able to do. I know that some of you are a little bit more familiar with simplifying, so I did put some of those in here. But if you hit them and they were a little bit sticky and tricky, that's okay. That's something that we're headed to. That is a giant stretch. So let's talk about Drew. Drew is watching Linda measure a piece of paper. She said she is going to cut it at 3/6 of a foot. Drew thinks she means 1/3 of a foot. However, he is incorrect. What is the equal fraction she will be cutting the paper into? For this one, I can draw myself a picture and I can cut it into 6 for the first one as best as you can with the equals, or you have your anchor chart, which has all of the fractions lined up. So if she has 3 out of 6, that would be the same as saying 1/2. 1/2 would be equal, not 1/3, 1/2. Over here, this is one of the super stickies talking about simplifying. Kelly ate 2 out of 4 pieces of an apple. Simplify the total amount of the apple she ate. So if we have her apple and we cut it into 8, and we said that she ate 2 of them, another way that we could describe this is if we took out those lines, we could also say that she ate 1/4 of an apple. So 2/8 is the same as 1/4. When we simplify, we're giving the same amount in smaller numbers. We want to get the biggest piece that we can without having it cut up too much. Amy is doing her homework, and for problem number 4, she got an answer of 2/4. What number does she need to divide the fraction by to simplify? What is the simplified answer? Again, a big old stretch was something we've been talking about in class. When we simplify, we have to divide them both by the same number. I can divide 2 by 2 and 4 by 2. When I do, I get 1/2. This is simplest form. Again, this is a big old stretch. Whoop, TCH. There we go. And this is a big old stretch. So if you were unsure, that's okay. We're going to talk about that more next year. All right, sweet faces. We're talking about Angela, who ate 1/2 of a bowl of soup, while Will ate 4/8 of a bowl of soup. Did they eat the same or different amounts? Draw a picture. So you could draw this out, keeping your circles as close to the same as you can, or you also have the option of looking at your anchor chart and finding your eighths and your halves. If you have any trouble finding your anchor chart, it is in the classroom with your homework. It is a printable, but you can also save it, and it is there to help give you a visual. So would I say that they ate the same or different amounts? They ate the same. Even though Will ate 4 of the 8 pieces, that is still the same as 1/2. You can see that from your visual. All right, moving down to the last 2 questions. It says that a recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup of sugar. What is the equivalent fraction with a denominator of 6? So we're saying 2/3 is equal to how many 6? If we look at our anchor chart, or you can always flip back because you do have some of them here. If we find thirds and 6 right here, that's not thirds and 6. There we go. 2/3 is equal to 4, 6. Use your tools. Susie let Richie buy 4/6 of her book collection simplified. How much of her collection does he now own? Again, I can use the previous pages. I can use my anchor chart. I can go back and say, okay, 4/6, what does that look like simplified? I'm going to simplify that down to 2/3. Use your strategies. If you are familiar with how to divide it, another strategy we've talked about. 4 and 6 can both be divided by 2. 2/3 is my simplified answer. Any questions, my loves? Bring them with you to class.